How's it going, everybody? Welcome to a brand new episode of Crypto Clout, and it's pretty cool that we've been able to see these recent gains in the cryptocurrency space actually maintained, and it's pretty cool to see a lot of these different articles, cryptocurrency being heralded as being back from the dead, crypto market bullish in wake of Bitcoin's 20% surge. So today, I figured that it was an appropriate video to talk about, you guessed it, you saw the title, you clicked on it, HoloChain HOT. This is a pretty interesting cryptocurrency to start off with the news on HoloChain. I wanted to bring your attention to Firefox. Firefox has more than 450 million users. Do you know that HoloChain and Mozilla have a partnership that could change the game? This was a pretty interesting tweet. Figured that we'd start off the HoloChain conversation with it, and especially when we need to talk about this recent shift in the cryptocurrency space as far as the 175,990 at the current time of making this video market cap is in relevance to this conversation. Of course, BTC dominance at the time of making this video at 50.4%. Let's check out some of those news articles as Litecoin and other assets rallying because of central banks' irresponsibility. And I think that the irresponsibility of centralized banks is sort of cryptocurrency's best selling point to a certain extent. We've got Litecoin price up with huge trade volumes, and of course we need to talk about these sort of points that we've been seeing made by a lot of these different articles that deeply speculate on the conversation, but at the same time I think that they're in pretty valid points to make, at least something that requires our attention and should be brought up. This quote right here: we had the Fed do a complete U-turn into dovish mode, then everyone else followed this European central banks and back to Japan. Now we have this set up where the centralized banks have become, of course, politicized, and this is definitely something worth bringing up in the cryptocurrency space. It's a quote, "A new world we're living in," and I think that that quote right there definitely does go a long way to helping us establish a understanding of the narrative that's probably motivating a lot of people to put their cash into various different cryptocurrency investments. And that article sums it up pretty nicely, but it is an interesting thing that I think definitely does play into the whole popularity of cryptocurrency and the that whole thing that people often talk about with the essentially people having a mistrust for the banks and all these different things being a key. You think about it, Bitcoin rising up in 2008 with other historical events happening around that same time involving the banks and all these things being a relevant tentpole, always holding up essentially cryptocurrency as that advertisement. But I do believe that essentially the fairy tales of Bitcoin and all these things will probably end up coming to having to at some point reach a middle ground with the establishment. I think that essentially Bitcoin's setting itself up. Blockchain and all these things will probably be the savior of the banks, which is sort of ironic when you take into consideration what they were originally created for. But that's just the way the cookie crumbles, I suppose. The people who have the money are essentially going to keep it safe, regardless if they have to have it in Bitcoin or if they have to have it in a bank account. Whatever works, I guess. I'm not going to be the one to tell you. Obviously, I'm not your dad, but the startup Radar, which raised $10 million in a series of A funding round last year, has revealed a new suite of tools for developers working on the Lightning Network, Bitcoin's second layer. I wanted to read this quote for you guys. We're constantly scanning the horizon for groundbreaking technologies. Last year, our R&D team identified Lightning as a promising technology with the potential for more than just payments, while an Ethereum decentralized application, DApp, was our first product. Our parent brand, Radar, is focused on building products for our next financial system. So definitely interesting, and all these things are certainly relevant when talking about HoloChain up 7%, by the way, at the time of making this video. Pretty nice to see. I mean, a good large slew of cryptocurrencies have been having some good performance in recent times, and among the top performers of the day, we've got Aurora. Bitcoin Gold has been doing pretty excellent, actually blowing a lot of the competition out of the water. I'm sure there's plenty of people who are holders of Bitcoin Gold who are listening to this right now, and obviously we're in a special club because those of us who did our research into Bitcoin Gold and all these different things. I mean, I have friends who are seeing gains on so many different random altcoins that not as talked about. Of course, stuff like this one right here, and among others. But regardless, I mean, I think the new internet is building on the horizon. I mean, you look at what the conversation regarding the current state of the internet and social media and all these different problems that Facebook and all these platforms are running into, it's obvious that HoloChain does have potential. I mean, any of these articles around here wouldn't argue against that. I mean, on the other hand, HoloChain is, quote, nearly infinitely scalable, and this is interesting. Can HoloChain project beat global warming? I mean, that'd be pretty cool, wouldn't it? If you believe in such things, HoloChain is a distributed computer network that performs faster than the blockchain technology. I mean, yeah, I think people need to start thinking beyond blockchain. People need to start thinking about how even in a competitive atmosphere, especially something like blockchain is on the chopping block to essentially be comparatively, we have things like HoloChain that, I mean, if they could just get their foot in the door, I think a little bit more, HoloChain could really be something that, I mean, not to say, I mean, I've been paying attention to them for such a long time that I'm pretty excited about what's going to happen in the future regarding Holo, and essentially how they've been able to make gains where other cryptocurrencies have essentially been slacking. I mean, I'm always willing to correct myself when I'm wrong as well. I'm constantly doing research, and I mean, you got to understand, I mean, my perspective on these things is very fluid, and I like to keep you guys updated with daily videos, because the fact of the matter is, when you're doing hours of research on cryptocurrency, every chance you get, as I know a lot of people who watch this channel do a lot of research on these cryptos, because I mean, when it's your money, you're going to do as much research as you can, because that basically makes the difference between whether or not you're going to be able to like say less, essentially. But when we're talking about something as advanced as something that's going to be as crucial to the future of the way the internet is functioning, I think HoloChain is I mean, we've got this 540 million records leaked HoloChain advertisement right there. So I mean, the fact of the matter is, like, all these different things, the issues of the centralized storage of data and all these different variables, I think that it's par for the course to see something like HoloChain gaining popularity, especially in this current paradigm. I mean, because we are undergoing a paradigm shift when it comes down to the cryptocurrency space, and we really can't underestimate the fact that on all levels, I mean, I mean, you could hear the same spiel from me in this video, or I'm sure it's something that I've said at some point in the past, but I'm telling you that is something that is really something that I stand by, as far as the future of these technologies is always changing, and I think it's always important to be ahead of the curve. And at the same time, you have to do your own research and correct mistakes that you made in the past. It's just one of those things, about the current, all the ways that things function. It's just for the best to, transparency and audience, all that sort of stuff. But yeah, I mean, it is cool to see, the gains haven't totally deflated. You know, when we see stuff like this happening, I mean, the space sort of getting that media attention now, that redemption in the eyes of the overall, you know, the masses and all these different things. But I think that I'm very excited to see what's going to happen with HoloChain in the future. But of course, you know, remember, this video is for entertainment, educational purposes only. You know, obviously, if you guys are interested in connecting with us, you could do so at our Twitter. You know, obviously that's at CryptoTuber. And yeah, all that being said, I mean, I am pretty excited to see where these projects are going to go. I think that the future of the internet is right around the corner. And all that being said, you know, obviously this video is not financial advice, but let me know what your comments and concerns are down in the comment section down below. Always interested in hearing what you guys have to say. But all that being said, I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a good one.